baby. This is the show where it's okay to be you. We're talking from Yale to jail and from the church house to the pimp house. Nothing's excluded on Shop Talk. So if you don't have a phone, I suggest you borrow one. Call in and voice your opinion live every Saturday morning from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Yeah, that's right, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Don't forget to Shop Talk with your girl, because right here, we keeps it real. All right. That's a little Al Jarreau. What you know about that? Anything? Do you know anything about Al Jarreau?
Not at all. Not at all.
That's a millennial in the building. That is a millennial in the building. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Shop Talk with Mel. And yes, you lovely people know how we do it. I'm Mel and my co-host Roogle.
Hey,
look at you. You feeling festive.
Man, I don't know. Like, I got my old man Hawaiian shirts and whatever.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
We got a millennial in the building. What's going on?
Hello.
Look, that's how the millennials do it. Hello. Yeah, we be like, back then, like, what's up?
Right. Generation X, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever we were.
And remember that song, You Don't Know Nan?
You know Nan.
You know Nan. Right.
When he said he didn't know anything about Al Jarreau, you know, but it's like, okay, I understand.
Listen, for the other people, that's a different generation. Talk about something you know Nan. She don't know what that song is about.
Yeah.
We know what that song is about. Do you know what that song is about?
I don't know Nan.
Yeah.
Who was that? Was that Trina?
Trina.
Was
It's Trina Trick Daddy.
Song? Yeah.
And Trick Daddy.
Yeah.
How about that ice cream song?
Oh, Milkshake.
Yeah, that's what it was. That milkshake. I knew it had something to do with ice cream.
Khalees.
Bring on.
Yeah.
I was watching The Hangover the other day, and it's a wedding singer on there, and he does Magic Stick.
Hilarious.
At the wedding, it
Magic
was
Stick by 50 Cent. Y'all can Google
and,
it.
And 50 Cent and what's her name? Little Kim.
Yeah.
Out there.
Right. That,
Old ladies walking around just shaking it up. My milkshake bring up in the kitchen ice cream.
I remember Buff was like, Mommy, don't sing that.
Right.
I forgot what song you were singing. My Neck, My Back.
Oh, yeah?
Well, yes!
She was singing My Neck, My Back.
She was singing My Neck, My Back at the gas station.
My neck was hurting. My back was hurting.
Yeah, that's all I like. Don't sing that.
I can't even think of her name. Have you ever heard the other part of that?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That was Trina.
Nah, it ain't
That ain't Trina? Who is that?
Nah, it's
My
somebody
neck,
else.
My back. Just like that.
Yeah,
I like to sing that song. Look, what's her name to be like? I know y'all not gonna sing that song.
Right.
What's her name? Shirley. What'd she say? Barbara, this Shirley.
Oh, yeah.
People, when she said she sang the song for her mother first before
I think
she
her
gave it
name
to
is
the...
Kia.
Kia sang that?
Khia.
Sang My Neck, My Back?
Uh-huh.
Well, she went platinum and then I ain't heard of her no more.
He's a writer and recorded the American rapper.
The American rapper. Well, hey, that song went. That song went, especially when grown folk talk about my neck,
I think
my
her name
back.
is Shamone.
At BP, I was like, don't sing that.
Shamone, would you? Shamone?
Yeah, it's Kia. Listen.
Kia Shimone?
Hey, listen. Nick, the voice of the community, could not be here today.
She'd love that naked back.
Listen, guess what though? Listen, she sent it to me. She just sent it to me. Look, she like Kia. Look, that's my girl. That's why she the voice of the...
I'm showing her the lyrics.
Oh, are you? Yeah, you read the lyrics while we move forward. Today's show is called Decisions.
Can't play those. Can't say those lyrics over there on the radio.
Wow.
Yeah, you singing that song though. I know you're not going to sing that song.
Right.
And that was like when Acknell.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
My neck, my back.
Uh-huh.
It hurts a little. Look, finish it. Be like, I won't be singing it to those musical notes.
Because it was like, that was could be confused with Friday when homeboy was like, I fell, my neck and my back. I want $150,000.
Right.
I don't want to read anymore. Thank you.
You don't want to read it anymore? No, thank you.
Yeah,
we about to take it back.
This is why there were so many babies in the 90s.
With no fans in the studio.
Yeah, this is why it was so many babies in the 90s.
It was so many babies in the 90s.
Yeah, like young babies. Babies having babies. Because the music was just so, provocative.
Not ratchet. Ratchet is a millennial term.
Yeah.
That's a millennial?
I think we might have coined it.
Y'all coined it?
Yeah, y'all could. I mean, before. I mean, it was a word.
It was a word,
like,
but they brought it back.
This is so wretched. Now y'all like ratchet.
Well,
that's it.
It's different.
They pronounced the vowel.
Those are two different words.
Go ahead,
Wretched
explain it to us. Educate us.
Wretched is like disgusting, gross. Ratchet is just like it's just a special type. Like ratchet when you see ratchet.
Look, wretched is disgusting. Ratchet is just ratchet. It's got his own definition.
Like you just see it and you know.
But you know what? Their generation is phenomenal. I got to tell you, I ran into a young lady from the millennials, right? And she...
That's good. At least they live it.
From the millennials.
Yeah, like from. No, we're in the current state. From. She would be the from, but go ahead.
They come from.
They come from.
They come from.
We don't know where they came from, but they here.
Right. They are here. And wait, so she says, you know, I hear about role models, but every time I hear the word role, I think of acting. And she said, I don't want to be a role model. She said, I want to be an example. I said, see, y'all got this.
Here's
wiser than I am.
Listen, no, but she's go ahead. What you got to say, Roogle?
See, when you an '80s kid, and they show the example. It's like on the multiple choice test. It's like the first one to show you how to make it. How to do the rest of it. You know?
That's an example.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'll give you that answer.
Yeah. What she was saying is because what she had seen from role models, that people will come out and do what they have to do, speak to a bunch of young people, but then their regular life, when you see them, they're doing something else. She said like they're acting.
So she took
said,
the actual word and said what it was. Okay, so role model, that's what you do. You play a role.
That's right. And
so she said exactly
you
what
model a role.
Yeah, that's
all in the.
That's it. That's what it is.
Yeah,
that's the definition.
But the thing is, like, I think like you get typecast in role modeling. Because, like, you can never be anything different.
Right.
Like, once you do something, what are you doing? You're a role model.
Like Whitney Houston. She was America's sweetheart. What do you mean?
She's like, I'm a rock star.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, no, I don't think anybody thought of her as a rock star
ever
until she said that.
Till she said it.
Yeah.
Right. Then you start thinking about the music like, oh, how will I know?
Yeah. How will I know?
How will I know? That's a rock song.
She said she just wants to live her life to be an example and a good example.
That's great.
Because she understands that there's another generation that is needing assistance, and she's been through a lot, so she wants to live her life.
She has been through a lot as a millennial. Bless her heart. Yes. And that's, I don't even know how to tell. I don't know if I should be happy or sad.
She's seen adults go through a lot.
Okay.
And she's been through a lot.
Decisions.
Yes.
And you know what? You're the one that said that you could listen and learn.
Well, that's the best way.
Yeah, I don't want to go through it. If you listen and learn. However, karma.
If you don't listen, you will go through something. And thus, experience being the best teacher if you make it through your experience.
I think you're going to make it through your experience.
You will have learned something.
If you listen along the way. Look, while you're going through your experience, be like, oh, wait, this is not working. You know what? You're right. I'm going to stop midstream. What do you say, follow the yellow brick road? Okay. I'll be like,
no rapper messed that up, did they?
Not yet.
I'm like, do we have something with the Wizard of Oz? It's supposed to be the bottom. Right. They're going to land on the bed. It's going to be a follow the yellow brick road. Like what Jay-Z did. What did Jay-Z do? It's the hard knock life. Yeah.
Stay on the path. Stay on the right path. Yeah. We want to keep it real with Dorothy and her journey.
All right, well, we ain't going to do that on this decision, but we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about that little Dorothy and her journey before somebody steal it, even though we know you were saying it a long time ago, and I heard somebody try to tip in a little bit, but we're going to talk about that because I'm going to need you to break it on down. But I got to talk to Roogle about what's happening with the hot topics, and listen, what's happening in Hollywood, y'all ain't got nothing on what's happening in the Yo. I want to know, actually in Ohio, let's say Ohio.
Ooh. What's going on in Youngster?
Explain to me. Did I see what I thought I saw on the news where it was pretty much like anybody that was under the state takeover is pretty much grandfathered in, and then they won't take over no more schools? Did I get it right?
Yeah. They did a moratorium on HB 70 for any future school districts. But
you heard what he said. Go ahead.
Yeah, but... Yeah, but what they want to do is they want to have the school districts that are currently under HB 70 be under HB 70 for at least a year. Now, the issue that's going on with HB 70 is
wait a minute. For at least a year, so this is not just grandfathered in and you just stuck.
Well, the moratorium is for a year.
Okay.
You know, the moratorium is the issue that's for a year.
Okay, so explain moratorium.
What the moratorium means is that there will be a freeze on any other future school districts moving into the state takeover. And the issue that I struggle with this is that if the state takeover is bad for future school districts, even for 1 year, then it's bad for those that are currently under it. Because they wouldn't have made the decision to have a moratorium if they were performing as they thought they should be.
Okay. All right.
So you don't put a freeze on something good.
Right, you don't.
You only put a freeze on something bad, right?
Well, I don't know if they do a freeze on increasing pay.
Well, freeze on increase in pay, but I'm
So I
talking
guess it's
about
bad for the company, but I got
as far
you.
as like a freeze on pay is actually good for a company.
For a company,
It's
but
bad
not for the
workers.
right,
Yeah.
right. So it's almost the
Because
same
believe
thing.
me, if America's corporations could freeze all pay, they would definitely do it.
True. So go ahead. So back to
So anyway, instead of the state legislator and governor making a decision, really putting their feet in the ground and make a decision on what's good for education, they pretty much they whimpered and bowed out and did something that was in what I would say is grotesque, because what you do is set a standard to say that the kids of Youngstown, East Cleveland, and Lorain aren't as valued as the kids throughout the rest of the state. So we'll keep on doing this experiment that we know that has failed at every corner. At every turn, this thing has failed, but we'll keep on doing it in Youngstown, but we won't do it anywhere else for at least 1 year. Now, the interesting part about this is that in this year, what's happening is that the state legislator and the governor has pretty much put in the hands of the Supreme Court of Ohio the decision on if HB 70 is correct or not, by them not taking action, because Youngstown, Lorain, both have a lawsuit that they'll be pursuing Youngstown's cases to be heard in October 23rd of this year. But what it really is to me is that the legislator, to me, it's like this. And even though we got senators and everything that were supporting the removal of HB 70, the issue is that the Senate Education Committee are unfit. I'm putting it out there. I'm just gonna say they're unfit, because whenever you pass the buck and say, well, we know this is bad, we know there needs to be reform, yeah, part of the legislative body actually condemned this and voted it out and voted that there should be change. And now you want to put a moratorium on it instead of doing what's right by citizens. So the thing is, they don't care. I was about to say some words I shouldn't say. They don't care. In my opinion, they don't care about our community. They don't care about East Cleveland. They don't care about Lorain. They don't care about Youngstown, because they had the chance to make a definitive change to impact education in a positive way in these areas. But instead of doing that, they took the low road out. I want to say this: they didn't do any effort at all to do their jobs, and all they did was just say, "Oh, we just gonna stop this for a year and then see what happens in these school districts." When you have 3 years of showing you that it doesn't work.
clearly.
3 years of showing you that it doesn't work. And another thing, just to show you locally, like with Youngstown, the CEO Moheb he got rid of some some administrators, right? But he riffed those administrators. And a riff is a reduction in workforce, right? It's a reduction in your force. So, but the people he riffed were, 3 principals were riffed. But you need principals to operate the school.
Absolutely.
So how do you riff principal positions? Then he riffed HR, I think it's HR manager and HR director, whatever their titles were. But pretty much there's no HR department in the city. And the thing that they boast about now is that they hired an athletic director at East High School. So you don't have anybody in HR, and you boast about hiring an athletic director.
And you don't have any principals.
And you don't have any principals. You remove 3 principals.
So,
and RIF means you ain't bringing those positions back.
Oh yeah, thanks for clearing that up.
Yeah, that means you're not bringing. It's a reduction in workforce. So you can't technically RIF a principal, because you gotta have
somebody
a principal
to run the school.
Yeah,
right.
So you can get rid of that. You can get rid of that person, but it's not a RIF. But that's how he got rid of some. That's how Mohib got rid of some of the people, which was completely wrong. And the minute that that one of our cherished and respected principals got removed from our district, she got hired by a neighboring district.
So she did get hired.
Yeah, because she wasn't 31 years of experience doing a great job. Yeah, Austintown snatched her up. A suburban school that benefits off of our children that that go for Ed Choice open enrollment is what it's called here. Open enrollment is called Ed Choice here, but Ed Choice is really no choice because it's not like all students have an opportunity to go to any district because these districts pick and choose who they want. And so this is really like it's really a shame that the state Senate's Education Committee couldn't do their job. They failed to do their job, and so what we're relying on now is the state Supreme Court to figure this issue out, and that'll happen in October. But by the time October comes around, you're already in the midst of the school year starting up again, and now boom. And so the other issue on that is that the important part of me bringing up the issue about the HR people being riffed, which you gotta hire, you need HR people, but with them being riffed, this is the thing. We had 94 teachers that resigned.
Wait, 94 teachers resigned.
94 teachers resigned.
3 principals riffed, and 2 HR riffed. So okay.
Who's going to hire these teachers? Who's going to get these teachers, and who's going to make sure that we are fully staffed to educate kids in September, children in September?
Thank you.
Yeah, you know you like that.
But I'm saying who's going to? I mean, because like you don't have no HR.
So how do they do the hiring? You gotta go all the way to Columbus?
No, that should be held locally. But the point is, it's like we are currently understaffed with no one who should be staffed to hire the new staff to make sure that we got staff in place for the new year. Follow me?
I'm following you. We let
you
lead.
The state Senate chose not to do anything. The state Senate's Education Committee chose not to take action.
So where do we go from here?
You know, we go from here is that we got to dig deep into principles that made us fight through any other wrongdoing or thing where we were viewed not to be adequate to take care of ourselves, and pretty much go down to Columbus, let them know their wrongdoing. Go down to Columbus. Oh, actually, when we have the Supreme Court case, it's not even going to be in Columbus. It's going to be in Toledo.
And so right now, the way that it appears to be is that it is an inadequate system to be able to stand on its own.
It's extremely inadequate because in Youngstown, not only,
but it was created to be that way.
Well, yeah, they came to kill, steal, and destroy our public school system.
Okay.
They came to kill, steal, and destroy our public school system. There's no doubt about that. They came to kill. I'm gonna break it down: kill, steal, and destroy. When they're killing us, the thing is like this. They telling us that we having certain results that we're not having. When you look at this, when you look at the metrics that the state has in place, we've done worse under state control. When we talk about stealing, they have stole our money. It's $13 million less. $13 million less has been spent in education. There's a surplus budget of $23 million that was in place. $13 million of that dollars has been spent. Not to mention this, when you break down the spending, because we just had the 5-year forecast. When we break down the 5-year forecast, they predict that there will be a deficit in the next 3 years. But even if a levy is passed, there will still be a deficit. It just won't be as much because the spending that's in place has crippled this district. And the state allowed that to happen. The state continues to allow that to happen. Governor DeWine continues to allow that to happen.
Has anybody asked the question why?
Oh, because they don't value inner city. They don't value inner city residents, as far as I'm concerned. Because it's an attack on inner city and rural communities. Because the thing is, if they want to hold people, if they want to say elected people need to be removed, then maybe the state people need to have a government take over. Because in Youngstown, we have 40% of our citizens living in poverty. That hasn't changed. You know what I mean? And so who's making sure that we got what we got? So you're going to put all the things that's wrong about this community on the backs of changing the education system when that's just a part of the issues that are destroying our community. When we losing jobs by the ton. And like no one's being held accountable for that. And even the jobs that we have here, the employers of those jobs who have tax abatements aren't even fulfilling the needs of those tax abatements. Those tax abatements say hire people. They don't even hire the amount of people they say they were going to hire. And then when you look at the hires they have, there are very little minorities, and then there are very little people who actually live in the city who they hire. And you can't tell me that every citizen in the city of Youngstown has a drug problem or a record or anything like that, because it's untrue. They chose to isolate us. They chose to isolate us and benefit from not paying taxes, and we get nothing from that. But yet you don't see the state, you don't see the governor coming in and taking over our city to ensure that these things are done right. They don't care. Honestly, the way I feel about it, going through all of this stuff, seeing what's happening, is that they do not care about what happens in our communities. They don't.
So do you feel as though that they don't care because they don't have any invested
interest? They don't have any invested interest, because none of these people who are on these special committees are people that are from our area. But the thing is that you make an oath to do things that are right for all areas. So why is it that the HB 70? And we're going to put a hold on it because we don't think we want to put any other districts in it, because Columbus would have been one of those districts. Toledo would have been one of those districts.
It would have affected.
Dayton would have been one of those districts. You know what I mean? So Cleveland is already under a state control apparatus that they made themselves, because people in Cleveland, in my opinion, this is not to the citizens, but it's their leadership, have no backbone, and they should never had just given up.
Well, say how you feel.
It's the truth. They never should have given up. But they're already under a form of state control. And they seem to be happy with the failures of that control. But if I could talk about the issues of Cleveland's leaders in a whole 3-part show.
But we don't want to do that.
Yeah,
we gotta get some things done. Well, tell me this. Let's get down right to the chase. Since we're under state control, and they're trying, you guys going to the Supreme Court so we can get it back, right?
State Supreme Court. Yeah.
Yes, state Supreme Court. The levy. So, are you saying, just your opinion, I don't want to put it all on you, put the whole state on your shoulders. Is it a good idea? How about that? Is it a good idea to pass the levy? The school levy then? This
is what my thoughts are. And I've always been pro-levy.
I'm pro-levy too until you said this.
But I've always been pro. The issue is this. First of all, the way schools are funded in Ohio has been deemed unconstitutional. And that ruling was done in like 97. And no one has changed that funding source. No one has changed how it's funded. So there's an issue in funding, period, that needs to be corrected by the state, which they failed to do. It's been two decades, and they failed to do what was necessary to change what the state Supreme Court seen as unconstitutional. They have not changed it. So my thoughts is this: if they actually changed it to what it would be, to what it should be, then you would need no levy.
True.
My thoughts, my thoughts are this: under the system that we're in, especially in Youngstown, if Youngstown does have a levy, that levy is an older levy. It's a renewal levy. It's an older levy, and then the state has to match it. But if there's no, let's say for example, a levy is put on the ballot, the levy doesn't pass, or the time for the levy expires, and then you have to put a new levy on there. There's no longer that state match. So it almost benefits the school system to pass the levy, the renewal levy within the time frame versus not doing that. But the other portion of that piece is that the state has created an issue where they burn through our money. And the state needs to
That's where I'm at with that.
Yeah. Okay. So the state needs to really, all citizens of Youngstown deserve reparations.
Youngstown, Ohio. Let me be clear, because y'all do know some other cities called Youngstown.
Yeah. In Ohio, we deserve to be restored for those dollars that's been fraudulently spent. You know what? I can't say fraudulently spent. because it hasn't been a violation of the law. Frivolous is what I wanted to say.
There you go.
Frivolously spent. Because out of all the spending that has happened, our school district has fared worse.
Okay, so let me be clear. We remove 3 principals. We remove 2 HRs. The HR, we just remove HR, human resources. We hire an athletic director.
Yeah. For a high school.
I almost feel like right in our face, it's like, let's dummy everybody down.
But the thing is, it's like, if there's no money...
No shade to sports, but I just feel like you put...
But the issue is like, it's no... And the thing is, it's no... But the thing, it's no shade, but the issue is like, you went without these key administrators, but for some point or some reason, you think it's important for you to have a high school...
Fun. That's it.
No, not fun. But you think, because the sports can be coordinated by somebody else. But if there needs to be a reduction in staff, why is it more pertinent for you to have an athletic director for a high school?
Fun.
No, for one high school, for one school in the high school in the school system, than to hire an HR person.
Fun.
It ain't no. To me, it's a foolish misappropriation of funds. If there's people that you need to operate the district to actually hire new people, but instead of hiring a person in HR, you say we're going to remove these positions from HR, but then feel justified in hiring an athletic director for a school. Not for the district, for a school.
But listen, now you're on the inside, I'm on the outside. Let's look at it plain. No HR, so we ain't hiring no teachers. Okay. Principals, we're gonna remove the principals.
We 94 as the last count, we 94 teachers short.
Short, right? Listen. So no principals. Negative 94 teachers, but we get to play. Sounds like, come on now. What is it? What's really good? That's the way I'm looking at it. And then I do know that he hired some other people up top to, I don't know what were they? Those other people he hired that came like his friends.
Yeah. Nah,
but they were out, they weren't inside the building.
A lot of those positions he got,
but they're not.
What happens is that that they've been hiring people under state control. They've been hiring people through through the Mahoney County Education Service Center, and we don't even know what those contracts consist of.
Why? It's closed to you? Because I know.
Because what they did was they hired. Like, you had to do a records request through that organization in order to get it.
But before they put everybody in the paper and how much they made, right?
But you don't have to. But if you contracting with another agency, is this a contract with that agency? And so that agency isn't breaking down who they paying. You know what I'm saying? So they're not disclosing that. They're just saying, here's this money. Here's this money every month. Here's this money. Because we have a contract with you to provide whatever services they think they should have.
Okay. Now, do you understand what I mean, live studio audience? If I'm a child and I'm coming in, I'm like, oh, wait, we have no leadership? Nobody to enforce the rules? Because that's what the principal does, enforce the rules. Yeah. More than that, but I'm just looking from the outside looking in.
It's a lot of,
Okay, well, who we hired? What was the name of that movie? Where they came in and Snoop Dogg was in it and they took over? You know what I'm talking about?
It was a school. Remember that?
With Wiz Khalifa.
Yes, Wiz Khalifa.
I don't even know what y'all talking about.
The movie guy, I don't know what we talk about, and I really don't know. But it kind of brings me back to that. Like, what are we going to have to do? Go that way? Because when you look I look at an athletic director, like I said, no shade, because I understand that you have to have core principles, but it needs to be taught when you're in sportsmanship. However, if I'm a child and I'm looking, that's just fun, like gym to me. Like, I get to go to school and play gym.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just get to go and just play. Like,
so let's break it down for these teachers.
Let's break it down.
All right. 2.5 art teachers.
2.5? How you do 2?
Yeah, well, you get part-time.
Oh,
teacher.
okay. I'm like,
then there's a TESL, I think, English as a second language. There's 3 of those that are not going to be there. 2 music teachers, a 7th grade science teacher, a high school science teacher, a high school chemistry teacher, 3 algebra teachers that we won't have, 1 geometry teacher, 1 special education teacher,
Oh, we really
a gifted
need them.
intervention specialist, a special music another music teacher, physical education teacher, a guidance counselor, 11 special education intervention specialists. You know, they will not be there. A 3rd grade teacher, 4 4th grade teachers, 1 5th grade teacher, 1 6th grade teacher, one social studies teacher that teaches 5th and 6th grade, 1 English literature teacher that teaches 5th and 6th grade, a 7th grade teacher.
You about to go to all 94?
Two 7th grade teachers.
That's a lot.
Yeah. There's an 8th grade teacher that's gone. There's a 8th grade English teacher that's gone. English arts teacher that's gone. These are the high school positions. There's 10 special, another 10 special education.
And this is all under
since
the state took over.
These are the people that have left the district
since the state took over.
So we need 94 of these people, but you bragging, writing articles about hiring an athletic director for 1 high school.
Well, you name teachers that are all
another
in my field
10
too.
Education specialists for preschool. Another 2 assistants for preschool. Another primary education assistant for preschool. The list goes on and on. Potential high school Spanish teacher gone. You know,
we need that to be bilingual. You got to press 1
a high
for
school
Spanish.
STEM teacher gone. Instructor of video production and broadcast gone.
This is all stuff that's pertinent to me. Sciences.
3 education assistants in the library gone.
The stuff that you need.
English assistants gone.
English. Science. No
4
doctors,
special
nurses.
education. No, they're gone. And the
Music,
education
arts.
Piece, I just told you. Probably upwards of 17 positions in special education.
Who building houses?
That needs to be filled.
Who building houses? We don't have nobody building no houses. They get rid of math teachers. Where's the nurses? Where's the doctors? The sciences?
When you look
the
at this,
English.
These is all these teachers have left the district.
But
they boast. They boast and write articles about hiring an athletic director for 1 high school.
Listen.
Volcano High.
Volcano High. That's it.
I ain't never heard about that. That was got like 0 Rotten Tomatoes.
What? It probably did, but it was good. I did watch that movie, Volcano High. That was it. Y'all got to check that out. But listen, I'm still back to. It's all in a nutshell. Let's play.
And then here they had a teacher for K through 8, Rosetta Stone for Spanish. They're gone. You know, they were using.
We
Rosetta
need to
Stone.
be bilingual. Listen, did you take a second language in school?
Yeah, I
What'd you
took
take?
3 years of Spanish, and then I took 3 years in college.
Good for you.
Spanish.
Guess who didn't?
You.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did, and because it was like, okay, it was an elective, and I remember they put me in there. I don't know, that what was it, the guidance counselor? They be throwing you in stuff. And I remember the first day of school, I said, now what they put me in here for? And they look at what you had to do, and I ended up being in Spanish 2. I didn't even have Spanish 1. So I go into this classroom first day, boom, sit there, Cheney High School, and you had to respond in Spanish. You know, when you went through that too?
I had to take 2 years to graduate.
Oh, see that's a good thing now. It was an option. And I remember everybody had, they had to say something in Spanish. Guess what my word was?
What?
Adios.
Adios.
It was. I was like, adios. She was like, hi. I said, I think I'm in the wrong class. I left right on out.
Yeah, I had like 28 credits.
Oh, the overachiever.
Yeah, because
look, y'all, it's the overachiever sitting here.
To graduate.
I'm across from the overachiever. I should have known.
28.
We should have known. 28. How many credits did you? Is it still 21? Oh, you said 18.
It was 18 then.
I had to. What they went down because when I graduated,
it was 18
21.
then. Like now, the system is like different. But
how many you have?
High school? Man, that was a long time ago. I don't.
Look at him talking about a long time ago.
Man, that was like 5 years ago.
Look at him talking a long time ago.
Yeah, I had about 28.
I thought you had to have like 21, so it was 28?
I had 28.
No, it was 18, I mean?
I thought it was 18 when I graduated.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I had 21 then. Maybe that's why I'm stuck with 21, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Because
you figure over 4 years, what's that? If you break down 18 over 4 years, what's that? It's like 4.5 classes. You got a lunch period. You only had, how many credits? How many courses? Was you had 7?
1, 2, 3.
No, so was it 7 periods or 8?
It was 8 periods.
One
So
was
that
a
was
lunch.
8.
Then people would have
yeah,
Sunday
and
off.
lunch. Okay, 7. Okay. Yeah, some
So
people
4.5.
had. I don't think I
4.5
had.
a
But the study
semester.
hall was half, wasn't it? Oh no, with the
No, it
with the
depends.
lunch.
It depends. Because
Okay.
like you could have, because remember, like most people had study hall because they had government, and government was only half a year.
Yeah.
It was another course that was
History.
half a year too.
History.
What history?
11th grade history.
U.S.
Mhm.
Was that half a year?
Yep. Ask me how I know. Because I seen all my friends, they wasn't
Uh-huh.
passing it. You had to have it. And it was like,
Okay.
who want to wait till you a senior? That's me. Why would I wait till I'm a senior? Y'all flunking ain't
Yeah.
even graduating. I was like, summer school, I took mine ahead of time.
Because I think I had mine. And I think I took my. For some reason, I wanted to say I was a sophomore.
See,
When
I
I
didn't.
took
I
my
did my
US
11th
history.
grade. Me and Adrian, 11th grade, going to the 12th grade. We went to summer school because we was not going to be that person. And if you took it like at the end half, you know what I mean, not the first half where you could go be in the next one. It was like, It was too many people that was bombing out. I was like, what?
I'm trying to think what else I had at that. I had Black History. I had U.S. History.
Black History at Cheney?
Uh-huh.
I wanted that. Remember, they didn't offer it.
Yeah.
Boy, they changed good.
And
Diversity.
who else?
Like diversity. Was that an option for you? Black History?
No, we didn't have a Black History class. We had medals. Teach you how to weld some stuff.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Like
what they call it,
shop.
metals? What we
Like
call it,
metal
wood shop, right?
We had wood shop and metal shop. I think it was metal shop here.
But that was like a home economics class almost, like for us,
Yeah.
right?
I took this cooking course in school when I was in there. I forgot what it was
High
called.
school?
Yeah, it was a home economic. It was something like it wasn't. All we did was cook. It was about food. The whole course.
And you took it. I wouldn't have signed up for that.
What?
In high school, listen, I couldn't figure out for the life of me why my cousin, no lie, I just got hip to the little food channels. She was young watching the Food Network. You watch the Food Network too?
Man, Alton Brown, my boy.
Yeah, Alton Brown.
Alton
is
Brown.
bomb.
Now see, I could not understand
Especially
that.
like he ties it in real nice.
Being young
History, science.
and cooking. Do you remember that? But let me tell you something. Now I understand because she's overweight, but my attention span wasn't, and that's just me personally. I looked, I was like, what little kid watching the Cooking Network? Now I watch it and I be trying some stuff.
Oh, it's,
But I don't
it's
know.
amazing.
But kids supposed to watch cartoons.
But you know what? It's like
Educate.
Educate, huh? Look at me, have fun, play.
Yeah, Alton Brown had a really good show because he tied in. It was like more educate. It seemed more of an educational show than a food show. If that makes sense. Because ultimately, he broke down the anthropology, the science, and everything related to the food, and then he would make food. But
all of these shows are educational. Even the cartoons, the Road Runner. Tell me what's educational about the. Do you know Looney Tunes, the Road Runner? Have you ever watched it?
I have watched it. I can't tell you.
It
what's
debunks.
educational.
You can't tell what's educational? Okay,
it
go ahead.
debunks physics. I'll tell you.
Tell us. Tell us.
Hey,
Tell us.
definitely not NASA approved.
Yeah.
Right.
It debunks all physics as far as first of all the speed that the bird reaches, is in some cases I think he's broken the sound barrier, which shouldn't happen. Then when the rocks fall, with the coyote, that's a whole other thing. I don't know where those rocks are.
Okay.
You know, because they're not really falling at the right.
Well, we're gonna let live studio audience go ahead. Yeah. Bugs Bunny, the Road Runner.
What about it?
Anything educational about that?
I haven't thought about that one. I haven't watched. I don't recall it.
I mean,
just know that one was a nuisance, and he just kept messing with me.
Go ahead.
I would just think that you gotta outsmart your prey with the wits that you have.
Exactly.
I mean, outsmart your predator with the wits that you have.
And that's it. It's like, why do we keep going through this? Like Tweety Bird.
Yeah, because
Sylvester the Cat.
Wild E. Coyote he was getting stuff. Matter of fact, when you think about it,
Come on. Come on.
Those shows really were the future.
Yes.
Because, like, he didn't have any telephone or anything like that, but he kept getting packages.
I didn't realize that. Yes, he
He
did.
kept getting packages from Acme. Kept getting it. They already had Amazon. Back then, he already had Amazon. Getting all kinds of crazy stuff you can only find online. You can never find that at the store.
I want you to go into detail about the Wizard of Oz. If anything educational, millennial, that you notice about the Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz?
And everybody saw the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I've seen the Wizard of Oz a couple times.
Did you
It's been a while, but I can't.
find anything?
Not like educational, like academic educational, but like I can see some emotional education being done there. You know, accepting where you're from, not wanting to be different or not different, but accepting that you are
different.
Yeah.
See, that's it. That to me, that's educational.
I see a waste of building materials.
What?
Because they spend a lot of time in the beginning, like walking around in a circle in that brick road. And you know what I always wanted to know? Where did that red brick road go?
And why did it turn yellow?
Nah, it was a yellow one and it was a red one because they swirled together in the beginning. And then the yellow one went its way because they said, hey, follow that yellow brick road.
Okay, so
but nobody said where that red brick road went.
Well, they was probably already on the red.
I want to know.
They waiting for the sequel.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what
for y'all to redo
that's what
it.
they should make the sequel on. If they make a sequel, follow that red. Like, where
But they were already on the red brick road.
Nah.
Okay.
Because in the beginning it was that swirl, and they was in the middle, like follow. You know, after she met with the Lollipop Guild.
Okay. All right, go ahead. What you got to say?
I just see the Wizard of Oz as life instructions and life's journey. That when she first got away from her covering, which was her family, the people that took care of her, and now she's out on her own, but she was never alone. And God has already told us that He would never leave us alone. So Toto was with her. And the first person that she comes in contact with was the Scarecrow. The Scarecrow being representative of a mind. He needed a brain, and God wants us to have a right mind. So then the Scarecrow and she hook up and they go down on a journey. They face some bad times and some good times, but they get the right mind. After she gets her mind right, she goes further down the street with her right mind. The next person is getting a heart, the Tin Man. So she runs into the Tin Man. So now you go through more changes in life. Some good, some bad, but you get a pure heart. God wants us to have a pure heart. Then, who you come up to? The lion. The lion, the example of having the courage to live out what you know and what you believe. But to know that you're going to have challenges in life. And it's not to destroy you, it is to grow you. So you just keep on going because there are different dimensions and levels to growth in an individual. So you just keep on going. Life is a journey.
I never thought about it like that.
Listen, I had to give it to you. Yes.
You made the Wizard of Oz a lot better. I mean,
listen, when they got to Oz, what did they say? It was in you all the time.
She just had to build herself, so she built her own character.
Find it.
Yeah.
And the way that she found it was through the trials that they went through.
She built herself
her
up.
journey.
But it was kind of like, what was the thing that she was facing? Before she went to Oz, the issue was, I got to protect my dog because the lady wanted to put my dog to sleep.
There was wickedness all the way there. Then you had the good witch that would come when things really, really got heavy for her.
It was a story
when
that
they were put to sleep.
Yeah.
Remember when they were put to sleep? But wait, I got this other one to tell you later. It's a good one. It's a good one.
When they was put to sleep in that when all them flowers, what was that stuff called?
The poppy field.
Poppy field.
Yeah.
Poppy field. They legalizing it. They done legalize it in certain places.
Bobby?
Follow me. Mary J. Hain.
Well, but as far as a poppy would be opioids.
Yeah. It would be opioids.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with this one right here. But I don't want people just ain't know the drugs and alcohol. Because y'all know if y'all eat those poppy seed bagels, that it'll come up.
Yeah, they would say you got to eat a ton of them.
You got to be addicted to the seed.
From what I understand.
Okay. Yeah, okay. It come up positive. It come up positive.
I've heard of that.
Ask me, because I used to test.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
And we would ask that question. And that would be the answer that you want to give.
Talking about that, I was watching this documentary called Dope. It's on Netflix, and it was talking about like, I don't even know how to even do this, because I can see how they do it from the drug user's perspective, because they just on TV, you know, they just interviewing them. But they have like these cartel people and all these people they're interviewing. I'm like, man, how are you interviewing these people? Like, I don't know if that part of it. Like, I thought about, I was like, is that fake? Or what? Like, how is it? Like, because they're interviewing the cops and they're interviewing the other. I'm like, you know all the information because you travel through each piece and you ain't being forced to share none of that? I don't know. Seems kind of skeptical to me.
All right, let's move on to Ohio raises the smoking age to 21.
Yeah.
How you feel about that?
I don't agree.
You don't agree?
Nope.
Well, speak.
The reason I don't agree is because if the reason the ban is happening is because the product is toxic and because like it only brings about death, then what's the difference between 18 and 21 if you're not just going to ban it outright?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that makes no, like, it makes no, like there's been no study that says, well, if you start at 21 versus 18, you're going to have better results. You know, if the product is deadly and that's why you want to have a ban, age, you want to discriminate in age, my thoughts are just ban it outright.
Okay, what about alcohol?
But the other,
so
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yet.
Go ahead.
But the other thing for me, though, too, is that in this country, there is a such thing of the draft. There is a such thing as being enrolled in the military. Enlisted in the military. And if you can be enlisted at 18 to go and do God knows whatever, it potentially kill people. Mm-hmm. You know, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that that's part of like the job. That why are you putting if you can go to jail, if you can vote, if you can do all these things, what then it seems to be an issue of how much control should you have over your life at 18. Like, they're not talking about taking away your voting rights because you're 18. But my thoughts is like this: if they feel like you can't make the right decision in order to smoke until you're 21, then what makes you be able to have the right decision to be able to vote, to be able to go to war, to be able to go to jail, to do all these things before the age of 21?
Valid.
You see, like, it contradicts our society, I think.
Okay, what's your thoughts, millennial? Tell us. Teach us.
I'm actually pretty on the same page with him. I feel like all the ages should be the same. Like, I was one of the people who I felt like everything, you could pretty much do everything at the age of 18, like until the smoking law, except drink. So I was actually one of the people that was like talking about lowering the drinking age.
Now, why?
Because I feel like what he was saying. I feel like if you're willing, if you can do everything else, they trust you to do everything else. You know, go and fight for your country, vote for who leads your country, smoke, all that stuff. What's the difference with adding alcohol in there?
That's justifiable.
Now, with raising it, I feel like we're heading on a path to where, what are they raising next? Like, are they going to end up raising the voting age? Are they going to raise the drafting age? Like,
but isn't it kind of they ain't going to raise those things. They ain't going to raise those things because you like, it seems like, okay, to me it's like this. You talking about raising the smoking age for cigarettes, but yet it's becoming more and more common for states to allow recreational use for marijuana.
I feel like those are two different conversations.
I think smoking is smoking. Smoking is smoking. So my thing is like, because the thing is like part of the recreation for marijuana is people smoking it, and if they saying that smoking leads to these diseases, leads to this, inhalation of smoke is inhalation of smoke.
Yeah, but is it so much the inhalation of smoke or the inhalation of the chemicals from the tobacco?
What it is,
this law specified tobacco.
Yeah,
Yes.
but the point, yeah, exactly,
And not just smoke, tobacco products.
Yeah.
So the
like
vaping
chew-
products, chewing
yeah, all
tobacco,
that.
Yeah.
and they got rolling papers.
They have rolling papers.
They put rolling papers under
Well, I
this.
mean, I guess just
Well, why you buying rolling papers
be
if you
proactive.
Why you buying some tops?
right.
Yeah, but my thoughts is like this: is that if you think it's bad, then ban it all, because the only reason you keeping it alive is because you're getting that good taxation. I'm telling you, good taxation.
Right? It definitely is. It definitely is.
I mean, that's why I kind of feel like what it is like, it almost like, this is why I say I try to stay moderate, because in a way it seems like both ends, the right wing and the left wing, try to attack your rights. Like everyone thinks that you're unfit to like guide yourself.
Okay, well, the one that's really excited about it is the CEO of the Lung Association, Harold Wimmer, who actually commends and say, thank you, Governor DeWine, for taking a tremendous step in protecting our youth from death and disease. Kind of like what you were saying, if you feel as though it is, affecting the youth and it's harmful for you, why not?
Well, because how much, I mean, like, as far as the law is concerned, how much older are you at 18 versus 21?
How much more mature are you?
No, older. I mean, I only say
Well, we
mature
already-
because you can be 90 and be immature. You know what I'm saying?
So why choose that age?
The thing to me is that if the issue is you want to cut down on more people being addicted because you know it's bad, then just ban it all.
Well, I think when they increase the prices, because what is a
They
pack
want
of
that
cigarettes now?
taxation. They
But
want
that-
that money.
It was, what is it, $5 a pack?
No,
It
it's
used to
more
be.
than that.
Is it?
Yeah.
It used to be 95 cents a pack.
Yeah, I would think like it's probably like upwards of $7 if not more.
So they figured that clearly they had to say that would be a deterrent, but it's not.
Well, the thing is, they want to tax. It's a poor people tax. I mean, I hate to put it like that, but most people in poverty smoke cigarettes. Smoke. Period. And so what you do is you're taxing people who have the least.
And what they're saying, they're trying to they're trying to justify it by saying that raising the age to 21, it actually saves on healthcare costs, eventually saving lives.
Yeah, but if it's bad and you know it's the leading cause of cancer, then ban it all.
Okay. What you think? Look, I'm like, hey, there's nothing I can say. But I will say this. Let me give y'all these facts because you know I got to tell y'all. Ohio is the 18th state that actually said, okay, this is what we're doing. We're going to raise the age to 21.
Just like when they tried, what was the other thing? It was in New York where they said you can't, like if you buy a soft drink, it can only be a certain size.
Yeah, I think it was.
I remember that.
Yeah.
The super size. They was like banning the super size.
Like
Yeah.
that you can get.
So they were pretty much trying to do what? Prevent Americans from being obese?
Obesity, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is like, I mean, like, what happens when, like, what decisions can you actually make? Like the issue isn't to ban everything at every corner. The issue isn't to say age restriction at every corner. The issue is to say, what is it that will connect with you to understand that these are the things you need to do as an individual without the law? Because think about it like this. If it was so much about things being banned, things being illegal, we wouldn't have a drug situation.
True. I want to go back to that New York thing. How about I went to an old building and everything is growing and you don't realize that it's growing until you go into a stall that hasn't been remodeled?
Yeah.
You're like, how did I get in here? You can barely turn.
The bathrooms are the last thing to be changed.
And the stalls are like huge now. Before I was like, oh, this is, I'm sliding in that mud.
Yeah.
Just think of how thin everybody was.
I was at a bar in Philadelphia.
Was it remodeled?
Man, listen. The best thing about this bar was the bathrooms.
Hilarious.
And the reason why was because they had rooms. So you had like they might have had like 20 of them.
Oh, like a phone booth?
Yeah, but they were
the new phone booth, the
good
bathroom.
size. They were
like,
good size.
Like a dressing room.
They were probably, I would say they were probably, I'm going to throw a figure out there like 4 by 7 feet.
Who's spending that much time in the bathroom that you gotta get that comfortable?
But it was so cool though, because like you got your own bathroom. Like they was like, oh, you go to number 10, you go to number 13, you go to number 23 or whatever it was.
Like the phone.
But it was so cool though, because you figure like this is that they're gonna have somebody go right behind you, clean up or whatever they're gonna do.
Were they unisex?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
they got unisex bathrooms?
I mean, it was this.
Well, I guess they're separate.
It was just a bathroom. Yeah, it was just like one. It was like one room with a toilet and a sink, and a mirror,
and somebody there. What are those people called?
It was one person.
Remember the person used to
concierge?
It was a toilet concierge, if you want. You know, it was like, hey, you use this one, you use that one. It was that. I thought that was the code. Like to me, if you want to have a club rocket, invest in your bathrooms. If I go into the club business, I'm doing that. I'm putting all my money in the bathrooms.
You put all your money in the bathroom?
You know, you're going to have busted up stools, but the bathroom's going to be so cold.
Juke joint, but the bathroom be cold.
Weird bathrooms. There's this club in Cleveland. I think it's Velvet Dog. Don't quote me on that. But for the guys, the bathroom is right off the dance floor, and the urinals are lined up against the wall with the dance floor. And that the wall is one-way glass. So the entire time you sitting there doing your business, you can see out into the crowd.
What?
Very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable.
Right?
Yeah,
right?
That's a little. I've seen that. I've seen that glass before, but that's. I think.
So you looking at everybody dancing?
Yeah, and it also is one of those things where like it did have a guy there to hand you like your towels, your candy or whatever. Yeah. And I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, he's like, yeah, everybody get caught off guard at first. And I was like, I can see why.
That's kind of stalkery,
right?
That is stalkery, because what if somebody crazy and going to the bathroom, beating to some chick? No, what if beating to some chick on the dance floor twerking?
Way you move.
Because the other side of the glass is like a mirror. Yeah. So like there will be girls who walk up and like do like look at their hair and stuff in the window. They're just like making eye contact with you. It's like
face to face.
Like it's the longest pee I've ever had. I had to like encourage myself to get it out.
Wow.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah,
that is so funny. That's wild. How about that kind of bathroom?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. It's another place like that. I thought. What place is? I was in Columbus. There's a place like that. Where I don't know if it's two-way glass in the back. I couldn't try to think. I want to say, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, so don't quote me on this. But the place that used to be for what's that football player for Ohio State? 28 or 27 was his number. 27. What was his name? He was a running back for Ohio State, and he had a restaurant. Something 27.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. We'll get that information.
George was his name. I can't think of his last.
We'll have that information for you.
Something George.
And
I think they had that
in his bathroom.
Yeah,
that's wild. That's hilarious though.
I like
Who's his name? George, Ohio State.
But the point that I was making with those bathrooms that weren't updated is that we have become, America has become so, and I hate to say it, so obese or so large, gigantism would just say that everything is larger than you don't even realize. You know, like the little things, the doorways. You'd be like, why is this doorway so small? Everybody grew. Yeah. Inflation.
The White House is like that. Eddie George.
Okay. I'm not familiar with him.
He was at Ohio State. He was a big deal. He ended up playing for the Titans, and then I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if he got the Heisman.
Moving on to the next hot topic in the yo. Handles, the only one in Youngstown.
Yeah.
Have been robbed, and they closed it. The Youngstown. Handles, the Youngstown. Southside Handles. Now they have two apartments because somebody robbed it. Now, Handles been around.
If y'all rebuild somewhere else.
No, they already. You know, they got the one in Liberty. They got Austintown. They have Boardman.
But that's like the number one.
Listen, this is where I'm going with that. No,
is it for sale?
No, they just like if you want to rob the place, buy it. We put this in the.
Sell it to me.
Sell it to you?
Sell it to me.
You'll go ahead and be robbed?
Yep.
Handles, 1945, right homemade ice cream. Everybody loves Handles. Listen, if you knew, because one of the boys, his face was on there. They were able to see. You know that's your son. Why don't you turn him in? I would tell.
You were telling your kid?
I would tell, because you know what? He gonna get a whooping. This is a neighborhood ice cream spot. Everybody loves it, and yes, they do great business there because it's always a line. We need to take our communities back. Y'all know, they say this is a lesson. Who's affected by it? Me, because some clown want to rob handles. So they're like, bye. We'll just close it. And at first they were saying temporarily close, but then they just put it out there. We'll just close it. So now none of y'all ain't got no ice cream. Y'all want to rob us and we want to try to keep your neighborhood? Ain't none of y'all getting ice cream. You said y'all was telling my son. I would tell. If I was a cousin, I'm going to call. You ain't even got to have no room.
Cousin? Yeah, I might. But, like, I don't have kids. But if I had a kid...
You ain't going to tell?
I don't know. That's a hard one. But, yeah, like, say, if one of my cousins, aunt, uncle...
If they rob their handles, you tell them.
You tell it. But if it's a direct connect...
Yeah, like, if it's my child...
You ain't telling?
Yeah, nah, I don't know.
What would be your punishment if you sit there? You'd be like, "Nah, I know that shoe on there." What would you say?
I'm gonna have to think of something. I don't know.
Get out of town. Get out of town. Like, hell no. What would you do, Roogle? If you seen your child's face on the news, and you know, and somebody know.
I don't know. The thing is this such a bad thing? The first thing is this: prevent your kid from doing something stupid like that anyway. Because it's like when you do something like that, first of all, it's all kids working there. Like it's a couple adults, but it's usually all
it's all
kids.
Children. Yeah,
you know, you pulling a gun on kids, and then like it's a place where families go.
Right, and they robbed it Saturday morning.
And you know it's the kids working Saturday morning.
Right.
Yeah, hungover too.
Jesus. But I just kind of it's all bad. It's all bad.
So do you think the community? Okay, let's say if it wasn't your child. Mm-hmm. When is the community? Because you said something very valid, and that's what's happening. Nobody's telling. When do the community say I had enough and take their neighborhood back?
Well, I mean, the issue is
because we're the ones being affected.
I mean, you take back your community. First of all, with educating your kids on what not to do. The other piece is that there's like you can have block watches and stuff like that or whatever. I mean, and maybe people should tell on those people. But the issue is that there's no like. What are the family consequences? Like if you know that
family consequences when you got a cousin that live one street over and you could go around the corner for her son's birthday party today and get some Handel's ice cream, but I can't. Yeah, and that's the consequences.
I'm taking walks with my niece to Handel's.
See what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
It's affecting the neighborhood.
So I'm thinking like if I'd have been there and I would have my niece, what would I have done? I probably would have, because she's young. Uh-huh. She's like 3. You know, that ain't like it's my, like it ain't like you like, oh, it's my time to fight the burglars and then the robbers. Yeah, you just grab her and leave. You know what I mean? Because she's too young.
Okay.
And get her out of harm's way.
Yeah.
Well, protect.
This is one thing about young people, like you were saying. So sometimes people get caught up when they're with their friends. And being with the wrong people at the wrong time can mess up your life. I understand what Roogle was saying. You want to teach them. And yes, you do want to teach them, but unfortunately, sometimes they get in situations. Do you want to destroy your child's life? I hear you.
Like what he said?
Do you want to destroy your child's life? How can we fix this without destroying your life?
You just relocated, son.
You made a bad decision, and this isn't good. I clearly see this is your face. How many other people know that this is your face? You know, how can we fix this? Is there a fix for this without totally destroying your life? I get it. I'm a parent. Would I do that? I try to. She
ain't telling. I'm telling.
I wouldn't want to mess up her life.
But you don't mind already. No, I'm telling. You do something if you want to, because I'm telling. We ain't got to worry about nobody. I'm telling. So don't do it, because they know I'm a big tattletale. And all my friends know. They be like, that's the narc. Don't do nothing around her. They used to say that all the time. Don't do nothing around Mel. Here she come. She getting ready to tell.
It's bad. It's bad. You know what I mean?
Another solution would be, and thinking about it, if I wasn't this person, because my Listen, that's why I have a problem with my utilities being turned off, because just like I tell, mine tell too. They be done told, oh, we ain't got no lights. They gonna tell the whole world, we ain't got no lights. Oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah.
My mother, listen, one time I went to the grocery store. You remember that time? I went to the grocery store. Now, my name is kind of common.
That time.
And I went to write a check. Well, they had my name on the list. Melanie Ross. What's a whole bunch of them? You can Google it. They wouldn't take my check. And I was like, what? I wasn't even there because I was in California coming back. I said, I got a buggy full of these groceries. I said, okay, listen. I said, we going over Nana's house. Don't tell her nothing. So I was like, well, I'm going to go over here to the ATM, withdraw, and then I'll come back. But I didn't feel like going back. Don't say nothing, so Malik tells her. Fuzz, don't say nothing. Soon as we pull up on Cabbage Street, Courtney, get out. Nana, guess what? My mother wrote a bad check, and they wouldn't let us all our groceries at the grocery store. I see it.
All the groceries.
All the groceries at the grocery store. I see it. And Malik was like, Fuzz told. I said, clearly. Remember you asked where we come from, the grocery store? Well, where are the groceries? At the grocery store, they wouldn't take my mama's check. I was like, so guess what? I tell, they tell, the whole night. They keep you on your toes. Now, I would, another out would be probably like relocate, send your child out of state, don't come back, because they looking for you. I don't know who that person is. That's like hard, but when do we take our communities back? Because there was times where you could call the police on your neighbor, and they didn't know who called, but now they tell you who called. True or false?
That's true.
The guy behind me, he was like, I want to say thank you since you never called because he needed to clean up his yard. He said, you never ever called on me complaining about he had a garage and his bricks was in my landscaping. I said, hey, I gave you 2 years. That's enough time. And then he ended up telling me, he was like, I was down there with you. He was down there with me. I'm working at the county jail. He was there for 2 years and that was the issue. But they told him who. Now, what if he was like, some down there for like a violent crime? You don't know what people are there for. They didn't know where he was, and it's elderly people that told on him. People, y'all millennials, I'm gonna group you in that. Some of y'all millennials don't care and will be knocking on the door harassing these old people. Why you call the police on me?
I mean, I'm not gonna say you're wrong. I will say I'm not in that sect of millennials.
I said some. I had to correct that. It's like you knocking on the door and people become intimidated. So all in all, y'all be sitting over there quiet, no ice cream, and you just taking your niece where? To the one in Boardman? You got a driver now. Y'all can't walk because you're not gonna tell.
I just kind of feel. You know what's funny? Just yesterday, you know where I was at?
Where were you?
I was at the first Arby's ever.
On Mahoney?
No, it's on 422. I mean 224.
224. Where's
Boardman? Yeah, that's the first one ever. They remodeled it.
Oh, down by
Yeah,
okay.
That's the first one ever.
Wow.
Ever in life.
Okay, I thought the one
in Ohio.
In Boardman, Ohio.
In Boardman. So
the store in Boardman is number 1. The store in Liberty is number 2.
Oh, is it? Now, which one is the one on Mahoney with the old throwback?
I don't know. I didn't ask
because it should be an old one.
It's probably an old one
because they
but
won't,
it might be like
updated.
It might be like 5 or 6. Who knows? You know, but the thing is that 1 and 2 is in the valley, right?
1 and 2 is in the valley. Okay.
And so I just kind of figured like you got the first handles.
That's
like you don't close the first handles.
Apparently you do.
You don't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't do it.
So do you think they should just relocate, or is
no? I think they
open
should
back
stay
up in
where
that
they
spot?
are. I think I think you should stay where you at.
I was always under the impression that the glass surrounding handles, like all handles, look the same. Bulletproof glass.
Nah.
Is it just keep that cold in there?
I think it's just like, oh, we're open, we're closed.
Because when it first came out that handles was robbed, my first thought was how?
Because you got a gun in the kid's face.
Close the window.
Even if it was bulletproof, them kids, you ain't. I wouldn't tell don't be dying over no ice cream. No ice cream money on a Saturday morning.
Where's the security at the store?
I just kind of feel like, but the thing is, it's honestly, how much money you selling from handles on a Saturday morning?
True, because bank ain't open, so they probably
like how much money you probably just got enough to start making change.
Like I know when I worked at Subway, we made nightly deposits.
Yeah,
so you get hit in the morning, you got $100 because that's what we kept in the drawer.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. you might get 102 if the person was feeling a little lazy.
Yeah.
You know?
But there's but the thing to me is that like the opportunity to fight back starts there. It's like, hey, you get a whole neighborhood named after handles, but now you don't got handles. You know what I mean? So what do? I think you use this as a point to fight back. I don't think you close.
You don't think you close?
No, or you sell it to me, I stay open.
All right, so you don't think you close, and you should just go ahead and just be robbed and call it a day.
You don't call it a day. You call it call for action.
A call for tell.
You know what I'm saying? You call it. It's a call for action. It's like, hey, we've been a staple in this. We've been a staple in our like. There's a few things that are synonymous with Youngstown, Ohio.
Handles being
Handles,
one.
I do
Belleria.
The steel mills. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it's like that's the only thing that's still around from the past that's still here. Like you keep that. That's a Youngstown institution. You keep it. You keep it by any means necessary.
And just keep getting robbed. Okay.
You don't keep getting robbed. You stop that.
How?
You nip that in the bud real quick and right away.
Like what they doing? We closing.
You don't gotta close. You don't gotta close. You don't.
Okay. All right, let's do this. I know we're not criminals. A criminal mind, though. Let's go with a criminal mind.
Yeah.
Okay? Excuse me. These some good now laters. Ain't nothing like a melted now later. You're robbing handles. Mm-hmm. When would you rob it? When's a good time you think you would rob it?
When the most money is there.
Okay.
Either Friday or Saturday night.
Okay, Friday or Saturday night. Millennials say Friday or Saturday night. And you say, when the most money, when would that be? Would that be a Saturday morning?
No.
Sounds like an inside job. That's all I'm saying.
Wouldn't be a Saturday morning.
Think about it. Right. You just opened up, so we already know. Ain't nothing jumping off.
That's
an inside job. Let me tell you why. Somebody knows how much money they start off with in the morning. Think about it. You know, when you come in, you be like, oh, okay, well, this is how much we got not petty cash, but we got like $100 in the drawer. That's an inside job.
But $100 ain't enough money for armed robbery.
That's why we know it's a kid. Besides in the face.
Unless it's a complete inside job to shut down. And to move to another location.
See, now
Conspiracy.
Conspiracy theory.
Conspiracy.
Can't throw that one out.
Right.
No.
To say, hey.
Unless you say, hey.
But do they need an excuse to move?
Well, see, where it's at, it's kind of like.
It's in the cut.
It's in the cut. I mean, it's behind.
It is one of those things if you don't know it's there.
You don't know. That's why they changed it to it looks like an alley, and they got that one-way alley, and this is where we're gonna put it at. But I feel you on what's that? Something flying around?
Yeah, something.
All stuff. I do feel you on. This is the first one. Let's stay here. It's like, why are you moving out of Youngstown? That's the only. It's just the rest of them is outskirts.
I mean, because it's barely in the yo. It's in the yo, but it's like on the brink of not being in the yo.
Listen, like 2 steps.
Yeah. If it was to say, okay, we want to have a more visible location, then right on the corner where they be selling rugs and stuff. You buy that property and you build you.
Listen, they don't. It's not a store, but whoever's selling whatever they want to sell could go right on that empty lot. That's what you talk about where they sell rugs at. You be seeing them there. And then, listen, I be wondering, you said rugs and trucks. They just had a little rally on that corner, too. Mm-hmm. So do they, like, talk to each other and say, hey, we're going to have this day, or is it the first one to show up at the corner?
I don't know.
Whose property is that? Because all they do is just throw stuff in,
There used to be a BP there.
It did. That's when she was talking about my neck and my back.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
That was the BP.
Yeah.
What did you do? All they had to do was say moving. It don't have to be a conspiracy theory.
I don't close.
You don't close. What about you?
I don't think I close either. I mean, I hate to say it, but places get robbed all the time and stay open. You know, like.
And see, my thought is, y'all got that conspiracy theory. My thought is, they couldn't have taken that much money so you didn't hurt. Because it was the morning and opening. I feel like that.
The way I see it, the bank's not open on the weekends. Or like Sunday. Probably not gonna get there Saturday.
You do your deposit Friday night,
Yeah.
or Saturday morning before you go in, and you got robbed at the place. Ain't nothing there but what you starting with in the change drawer.
Yeah.
So they're not closing because they lost a lot.
Right.
What?
So,
Yeah.
so that's
I mean, but
not-
like, I mean, you got kids and stuff that work there and stuff. But I think you make a call of action. Be like, hey, to all churches, to all this, to all that. Like, we need people. The more people that is there, the more. I mean, and not even necessarily like more people coming by ice cream, but this is something where like we want to make an investment to where like it may be less likely for somebody to rob it if, like, let's say like this, put some tables up there. I don't think there's tables or anything on that one.
What, to sit at that one?
Yeah.
No, they ain't got no tables on because you parking right where you would sit. So no, there's no tables.
Just make an investment in it. And it was part of that investment is like, okay, if they
put tables, where we gonna park at to get our ice cream?
Like have people, if you have people that are willing to help ensure that this is, I hate to say,
they would have to hire security because anybody volunteering time.
Well, and that's, when you go into business, you go into business to make money and not to lose money. So even if it says, okay, this is a sign that we're going to have to hire security. That means we have to spend more money. We already have to pay a person to work, and now we have to spend more money for security. We already have some other businesses. We could just shut this one down because we don't have to go through this headache. It doesn't, listen, just because you see a line over there one day doesn't mean that line is everywhere. Yeah. It's ice cream.
So they're probably making more money in the other places, and that's the one.
It's making that much money.
And probably me, I'm just like,
how profitable.
Maybe I'm on a situation where I'm like,
you have overhead.
I'm doubling down on my thing, and maybe that thing is like on days where we're likely to get robbed or something like that, have something really big happening. Like where you bring it, like maybe it's, I don't know, cartoon Saturday night.
See, that's more money.
Whatever. I mean, but how much is it for you to have a projector up and show a film, or a cartoon or something like that? Like there's things you can do. Like
now when I'm making money, I ain't doing all of that.
But
what about Swabels? Swabels started. I think it's these young. What?
You know what they should start, and I bet you would cut down on the crime.
What?
Do one of those Queen of Hearts. It'd be like everybody, they mama.
And everybody gonna be there, and guess what? Nobody better not rob nothing because that's their chance. They gonna start jumping
get
people.
All kinds of money. Look at which one.
Like how they attacked on the plane. Remember that one that was supposed to hit the World Trade Center? That one plane. They was like, "Nah, we going down. We all coming in. Go ahead. We all going in."
You have a Queen of Hearts go all summer long.
Oh, they'll make
all
some money.
Season long. You make all that money.
Cause I was there.
A Handel's Queen of Hearts.
That'd be it.
That'd be it.
That would definitely be it.
That'd be it. I'm look
at me like that's a good idea.
I would find a way, and my way wouldn't be to close. Cause I mean, maybe I'm stubborn. You are. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Now I have this. He don't give up. He's a fighter. He's not giving up. And by no means.
Let's not be confused.
Where does he get that? He is not giving up. That's the end. It'd be like, come on, choose your battles. All right, Millennial, I got a question for you. This new thing with all these challenges. What is going on? Before you do that, let's talk about the licking of the ice cream.
Oh.
Now, y'all talk about y'all wouldn't tell on your own child. You wouldn't tell on your own child if your child was licking ice cream.
Okay. I wouldn't tell on my child.
I would go buy the ice cream.
If I felt like they were in a situation where it could really mess up their lives.
That'd mess up and I don't think that she was thinking with this one.
Well, she did. They I don't know if she got arrested yet, but they looking for her.
Uh-huh.
I think that happened in Texas.
Yes.
Oh, they didn't catch her?
They caught some other people, but they didn't catch her.
They put her picture up though.
Yeah, so they waiting on somebody to tell.
Her. But I think she in one of those situations where ain't nobody gonna tell. And plus, I guess
make that money good enough. Put out one of them Texas $10,000 rewards for any information,
and then they'll be right there. Go ahead.
Yeah. But I feel like there's two types of challenges.
Okay.
To answer your question, there's challenges like those where it's just people just trying to get that internet clout and the internet famous, trying to make some money, get those sponsorships. But then you got other ones that actually better the community.
Okay.
So you have one. Was the ALS challenge.
Yes, that was I
That
did.
was one.
The Ice Bucket Challenge.
The Ice Bucket Challenge.
Yeah.
It's a charity event.
What about the kick thing? You see that?
The kick thing, I don't have a problem with the kick thing.
Tell me about the kick thing.
It's like what they're doing is they're kicking bottle caps off of bottles.
Bottle cap that they paid for.
Yeah.
Just be clear.
Yeah.
And
That they
they're
paid
their
for.
own homes.
Yeah,
And it's just like,
you gotta have it loosened, so you gotta purchase it.
Yeah.
You know, but what it is, it ain't for anything. It's just for skill.
Yeah.
So you do like a roundhouse kick, and when you do that, you kick just the top off, and you see it spin off. If you're cool enough to do it.
If you're cool enough to do it, hopefully don't break a window
Yeah.
like Dennis the Menace. But I want you to tell me about. You said the good challenges and the bad challenges, and you were saying to get the likes or sponsorships. What do you mean sponsorships?
oh, you can make money. Like if you get say if you have so many followers on like Instagram.
Okay.
So you have like a couple million Instagram. I know there's people out there who get like $6,000 per post on Instagram.
Jeez.
So that's why they were doing it.
Trying to get famous. Like think of Bad Baby. From Dr. Phil, the Catch Me Outside girl.
Yes.
I don't know nothing about that.
You do know Catch Me Outside. That's
it
like
was,
everything.
It was this girl, she was like 15. She was on Dr. Phil, disrespected her mother to an extreme. This is how she got famous. Some lady in the audience called her out on it, and she told her to catch me outside. You know, you got something to say.
She just squashed it.
Yeah, she was
Catch
like,
Me
catch me
Outside.
outside. That's what
And that was
this
it.
like 15-year-old girl. She just signed a $1 million makeup deal. And the only reason she's famous is
because she threatened the old lady.
Is
Yes.
because, yeah.
Catch Me Outside. Isn't that crazy?
The only reason she's famous. She got a record deal. She's out there making these
Yes.
horrible raps.
Catch Me Outside.
Right? Horrible raps. But got a $1 million makeup deal.
I wonder how mom feels now.
I wonder if mom getting money. My question. I feel
Mom
like
probably is.
it was a plot.
It's
But then you
inside
got
job.
a lot of people who see that and they're like, oh, well, I can do that. I can go do this like
But I
Be
can
bad.
completely do the wrong thing.
be a disturbance to society
Yeah.
and make money.
But would you tell if you see somebody licking the ice cream?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
If I'm in the store, I'm grabbing the ice cream that they licked and I'm taking it to the manager. Like, I seen somebody lick this ice cream.
And so you see something, you say something.
Yeah, especially in that moment because I don't buy ice cream, but I buy other stuff. Matter of fact, I got an apple pie at home I need to cut into.
Okay, then.
But that was the situation that the ice cream company. I don't remember who it was. Bluebell maybe.
Yes.
And they don't need no more problems.
They
was it
recalled-
Blue Bunny?
No, it wasn't Blue
I don't
Bunny.
know.
It was
Is there a
Bluebell.
Blue Bell?
Yeah, it's like
They
Bluebell or
might be
something.
Bluebell.
Yeah.
I know
they,
Blue Bunny don't need no more.
They
problems.
actually recalled all of it. They recalled all their ice cream from the store from that location because of that.
But here's the thing. It didn't have to be that brand. People could have
Oh,
been
there's
like
a
doing
Blue
it.
Bell ice cream.
That's why I see that Breyers, the ones that had that lid. If you open it, you
Yeah.
could tell.
Most of them usually either have a film across the ice cream, so when you open it, if that film isn't there, you know, or they usually have that plastic around.
Right.
I think Bluebell might be the only one that does it. Which
So she knew what she was doing.
Yeah, they
it
videoed
wasn't an accident.
She sought out-
She didn't.
She
accidentally
sought out to
lick
lick
his
some ice cream.
She sought out Blue Bell though.
She's
she
probably
sought
just
out.
like, oh, this one don't got no security measure.
Huh.
You know, let me just.
It's going to cause prices to increase because the packaging is going to have to change.
It's gonna have to change.
And so it's affecting us. Hence, handles. You robbing this place, it's affecting the other people. Somebody
Yeah.
making a bad decision is
'Cause
affecting
it
the
closed.
community.
Now, I can't have that sentimental moment of walking on my knees to go get him.
That she'll remember, that
It's
memory.
over.
You're going to have to drive her.
Nope. I'm just going to buy a
Walking
place.
is a great memory.
This is a time to put together your change and join me in the handles revolution.
The handles.
And buy the handles.
I'll buy that. Hey, they want to. Hey, sell it to me. Give it to me. Man, give it to me. Give me like a land contract. I'm
want
telling
a
you,
land
man.
contract?
I will have that. That handles will be popping. Have me a little wing stand next to the handle.
Nick said, I'm gonna tell y'all what Nick said. The voice of the people. She's still in there doing her thing. She cooking. I'm just gonna put that out there. She's cooking. I don't know, what is it, like a family reunion or something? But she said that she punched him. Well, she said that last
She
week.
punching them.
Whoever, and
Oh, a
then they
family
go
member.
no, look. Whoever is licking ice cream
Oh, whoever looking at yeah. the
because
ice
it
cream
puts you at risk. We're the ones that's being affected by it. I think it's nuts, and I was trying to understand the mindset of the young people. Like, What would make you just go and do that and record it? But you explained it. They're getting paid millions for bad behavior.
Or trying to. Like, she didn't get paid for that.
Oh, no.
But she was trying to get famous.
And
she
probably
thought it was
didn't
gonna be one of
realize.
those things where it's going to be funny. People are going to be like, oh, yeah, this is so funny. You know, start following
Probably
her
not
around stuff.
realizing, like, oh, gosh.
That was a crime.
It's a crime.
Okay,
Especially after the Tylenol murders that happened. I don't
Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about the Tylenol.
Back in the day?
Before Tylenol had like
Yeah.
the safety measures, there
Yeah.
were people that they would buy Tylenol, and they would switch the medication with, I think it was cyanide.
Yeah, something they was doing. You don't
And-
remember? That's what they put that. That's what they put that.
That thing over
That
top of it now?
yeah.
I,
That,
That's
uh,
why.
that-
That's
I
why
don't
those
remember
are
that. Oh, man.
They got an article on here that says police identify culprit who licked ice cream, returned pint to frozen videos.
They know who she is. They just can't find her. They looking for her.
Oh,
That's
she
why-
ran.
The iced tea
Yeah.
guy.
She
Remember that
ran.
iced tea
Yeah.
and he spit in it?
Yeah.
That's why they got all those plastic seals and all that other
Yeah,
stuff
Yeah.
now.
Somebody was
This
out
is
there
what I'm
killing
saying,
people.
and all those companies that don't have it, you're going to either have to do a recall on their product and then repackage it with those protective seals.
Well, kind of like what Roogle said. Now it's gonna. He said, did they
says they
seek
found her
out
by
that
police.
particular brand, knowing that they don't have it?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
They said they found her.
Oh, the young lady did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let me look at.
I
this.
know. We talked about it a few weeks back, and what she was going to potentially be charged with, but they can't. Look, go out of town. What I tell you, you just relocated because everybody know it's you. And then he said, you're getting paid. So we have to figure out, okay, you got like your YouTubes, which I like the page, do something so I can get paid. I guess I ain't doing nothing so drastic.
Young people have got to get their minds right. Remember that used to be a saying, get your mind right?
Well, yeah, you got that. Get your mind right, but they getting paid. They found a way to get paid. All I got to do is do something stupid, and
So
I can
she's
get
a
paid.
juvenile.
Oh, she's a juvenile. So,
Yeah.
and not realizing that it's a crime. Do I believe that she knew it was a crime? Absolutely not.
Probably not.
I don't think she did it with
That
ma-
intent,
with
malice, right? It was
But-
just a.
Oh, she did it with malice.
She knew she wasn't in the right.
Right.
She did it with malice.
But I don't think
Because
she knew.
because it wasn't like she like, hey, I'm just gonna keep eating this ice cream throughout the store. She did it. She did it with the intent to say, somebody gonna buy licked ice cream.
Yeah,
You know what I
see,
mean?
I went here with the word malice because that's like.
She
When I
didn't. She
think-
didn't
when
know
I
how
think
deep the
malice,
rabbit hole
Right.
went. Oh,
Okay.
she had true intent.
Yeah,
to
she
do
had
something
intent.
wrong.
Yeah.
She
didn't-
had
'cause she
intent
put
to
it
do
back.
it.
She didn't buy it. She didn't keep
She
on
knew it
eating
was wrong.
Like,
She knew it was wrong, but I don't think she
She
realized how deep the crime was, where you could actually kill somebody.
Yeah, she would have been better off just eating that ice cream
Throughout
until
the
it was
store.
done. Until she ate enough out of it and put it in there with no lid on it. It was like, oh, I had my fill. Versus like I'm
Returning it to the
Returning
way
it,
his present state.
and nobody will know what happened.
But imagine if somebody licked some ice cream and said, now here, you eat this.
No, we
don't even
know
like the
that.
idea with
We
people.
know that. But see,
To her, I'm going to lick this in your face, and now you eat it.
Yeah,
well,
but
that's pretty much
How do you
what it
feel
was.
about that?
I wouldn't
As
share
far
ice
as your
cream with
emotions.
nobody.
Not to force her to
I ain't
eat it,
sharing ice
but
cream.
for
You
her
don't-
to
That's
get the
something you
visual.
just don't share.
Did we talk?
Like-
we talked about this before. Do you share? I
Yeah, we did.
I've seen couples in love share ice cream.
I ain't sharing ice
and
cream.
it's
I don't care how I
gross.
love. Right.
It's gross.
I feel like
Ice
there's-
cream you don't share. Popsicles you don't share.
Psyche to understand.
Yeah.
there's a
this
couple
is
things
what
you can
did.
share.
There's a couple things you can
Those,
share.
those
But
ain't
I'm
found.
straight.
Right.
Here, now eat that.
That's
And give her a
nasty.
spoon.
She did it on purpose.
She definitely did it on purpose.
Like I
And
ain't,
so
I ain't
that
giving
her
her.
mind can really
You ain't giving her no pass
I
on
ain't
it.
give- No.
But not make her eat it,
Be-
but for
yeah.
her to get the understanding of this is what you want.
I
to
think
do.
Roogle he gave clarity, and I think that was a great suggestion. If you're gonna do something bad, if she had a spoon and just ate it,
Yeah.
and then you knew nobody else would accidentally take it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So if you're gonna do, I think it's just like the New Day. What was it called? Truth or Dare.
Yeah.
It's like a New Day Truth or Dare. We just wasn't doing all that.
It's called get your mind right.
But the thing is, you know what it also called though? Ignorance is not bliss. and like,
How about that?
And if you don't know the law, then you still subject to be penalized by it.
How about
you know
that?
what I'm saying? So know what you do before you do something dumb.
Check into it.
Yeah, I would assume. I mean, because I think about this. What if she would have like opened up a box of ice cream sandwiches and ate one ice cream sandwich out the box and walked away?
That's a little better because you got a chance. You
know
looking
what I mean?
like
it's like, hey, I stole the ice cream sandwich. It's better. It's
Say, I've been an ice cream sandwich because guess what? We know it's tainted though.
Yeah,
in that situation, we don't know.
But you missing the ice cream sandwich. Your intent is not to poison somebody as it is to eat an ice cream sandwich.
Okay, I'm about to tell you what happened.
Because we don't even know what diseases this lady got.
See, and that's it. That's why I don't think that's what me and LaRon is on that page. I don't think she realized, like, oh my gosh, I didn't, not knowing that it was like, oh yeah, I could have a disease. Oh, this is a felony. Not realizing that part of it.
She didn't know the penalty.
Right. Now, I went to Burger King one time.
Mm-hmm.
And they got a 5-piece nugget.
Okay.
So when I go to open up my nuggets, I only have 4.
Uh-huh.
Where's my other nugget at?
Where is it at?
So I went back and I said, just the principle. I said, y'all only gave me...
It ain't the principle.
Y'all gave me 4 nuggets and I paid for 5.
Damn right. Get your nugget.
Guess what? I'm about to tell you. Somebody was hungry. And they ate one.
But you can eat all the nuggets you want when you work there. I've done this.
You didn't bite it off and put it in there for me.
Man.
In high school, I worked at McDonald's.
Wait, okay, hold that time. So, guess how I found out? I was like, I know I probably should be on somebody's diet. I said, but y'all need to give me my other nugget. When I got to the window, they were laughing back there. I said, what's so funny? They shared with me and told me. So, it was like, let's see how many people notice that they're a nugget short and if they're going to come back. Then the girl said, she was like, we can't believe you came back.
Why wouldn't I come back?
For 4 nuggets, 4 or 5, tomato. But I came back and she shared it with me. I thought it was, I think back when I was at McDonald's, like you said, I'm like, dang, that's crazy. I was going to be like, yeah, I'm hungry. Let me go ahead and eat one.
But what they really doing, this is one thing I hate about.
But I was chill. But
this
go ahead.
This is one thing I hate about, like, when fast food workers do stuff. Well, if I had somebody do something like that, I would have called corporate. Honestly,
see, it wasn't that big of a deal to me. But if it was somebody else, she confessed. I think after she felt my vibe.
But it's because first of all, you cheating me out of
what I paid for.
What I paid for. First of all, so how many customers did you cheat that day? So if I own that business and you know that you always gonna get shorted, and when you come there, why come there?
Okay.
You know, like a lot of, like, when people do hookups and all that stuff, they put their own jobs in jeopardy. Yeah. But the other thing for me is when you get the fast food workers like, well, it came to $4.98, so they don't give you your 2 cents. What are you talking about? Yeah. Give my money.
Give my 2 cents. Yeah. And then how about the people now that ask you want your receipt? Yep, I paid for that paper.
Yeah, I want all of it. I want all the napkins I can get. I want extra straws.
Yeah, put it in the cart.
Ketchup, one spoons of fruit.
I want everything you got to offer. All right, go ahead. You said you worked at McDonald's. What?
Well, it's not like I don't understand. I think the concept of them just taking one nugget wasn't just someone got hungry. They just was messing with you.
Right.
Like doing it on purpose.
Right.
Because you got unlimited nuggets back there. You can always
like he said, you can always
eat a nugget. Just take a couple. I used to do it all the time. Yeah. Just take a couple off the tray.
We know who the
nugget
place
person. I worked, man. We used to get fancy with it. We made them in the hors d'oeuvres. We wrapped bacon around the tenders.
Oh my God, y'all was ready.
We went to town, man. I remember, like, it was these one pies that they had. We used to sneak off into the freezer and eat a pie.
Hilarious.
Kill them. You know what I mean?
Hilarious.
Yeah.
All right. So one thing that you don't share. We already said ice cream as a couple.
And bank accounts.
I don't know about that one.
I'm with him on that though, for real. That's good.
Ice cream and bank accounts.
Ice cream and bank accounts. You don't share it as a couple. Go ahead.
Ice cream and bank accounts.
That is so funny.
Anything like suckers, anything that involves like a sucking motion, you don't share.
Full entrance into the mouth and return in whole.
But you'll kiss the person.
Yeah,
it's different.
Yeah.
It's different.
You can share bite and sip items,
but not.
And I'm borderline on sip items.
See, I'll share a sip item.
You borderline guy?
I don't like sharing. Like, my thing is, like, you have the opportunity. Like, I always say, hey, do you want something? So you got the opportunity to have your own. But your own whole 24 ounces, whole, whatever it is. You get your opportunity to have your own, whatever flavor you want. And now I got mine. Don't impede on my stuff. because I bought this for me.
Okay.
See, my thing with the sipping thing is I go to a lot of beer fests.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, me and her, we at the beer fest.
Uh-huh.
We get 2 separate things.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, like, what does yours taste like? Instead of me trying to describe, like, what this tastes like, she's like, here, take a sip.
But I think there's a different thing when you talk about the communal experience at something. Because that almost makes sense to
even
share.
if I'm in my
But
apartment and, like, I'm making a drink, and she's like, oh, is this strong? Take a sip.
I'm like, here, let me make you up one.
Ah!
I'm just like, I mean, I'm like, don't. I don't know.
What does that
certain
vanilla
things.
Dr. Pepper taste like?
Hey, guess
Take a
what?
sip.
I got extra cans. Here you go.
You
I just kind of feel like when it's yours, it's yours. Like I don't like. There's enough stuff I got to share the same oxygen with you.
Well, it
You
sounds
know,
like you just
that's
can't.
enough.
It sounds like your problem is less with the germ aspect of it and more just being stingy.
It ain't stingy because I'm willing to buy your own. You can get your own. Matter of fact, you want to see? Okay, I may have. Let's say I have like cherry, but you want to try cherry and grape? You curious? Here's a cherry and grape for you.
So
And
you
here's
rather?
mine.
Yeah, that's just what's yours is yours.
Yeah.
That's it in a
I
nutshell.
think I should be able to have that. Like if I buy something, like remember that whole thing about you ever get to that point where you know in this drink, this is going to be the last good drink that you got out of that drink. Let's say you eating a hamburger or something like that, and you like, okay, I got this bottle of whatever, and you like, I only got so much left. What do I want to finish off? Do I want to finish off with the burger or do I want to finish off with the drink? And so let's say you finish off with the drink. So you already know how much your mind is set up to say, let's say this burger take me 8 bites and I take a drink every 2 bites. I don't need you to take away one of my drinks.
Yep.
Wait.
Hilarious.
That's what
So
I'm
the
saying.
answer is just no for him, just
No,
like you said.
absolutely.
What's his is his,
Yeah.
and go from it. Now there's a restaurant, and we talked about it. What was it last week? We talked about the restaurant. I don't even think we even talked about it. They have on the menu, and this particular restaurant, they have like different meals, and then at the bottom they have additional. Did you see that?
I did see
And
that.
it's like the girlfriend something, where it's like 1 extra wing, girlfriend sample, and you.
My girlfriend said she wasn't hungry.
Yeah, my girlfriend said she wasn't hungry. Yeah.
Nice.
You get some extra fries.
Right.
Some chicken tenders or
Yeah,
something.
2 extra chicken tenders, 5 extra fries. That you would actually benefit from that,
That's a great idea. No.
because
She
what
need
you
to
want.
get her own. If you
She's
have the
the
opportunity,
girlfriend.
if you got the opportunity,
My
to get her
girlfriend
own
isn't hungry. Yeah,
sandwich,
yeah.
Like I'm just like, hey, you ass out. You gets none.
Done deal. Make your
And
decision.
if you want to go and be with a brother who gonna share his food with you, then find him. Cause I'm out, and I'm okay with that. They be like, why you got a divorce? Cause she kept asking for my portion, and I got tired of it.
and I offered her her own.
Yeah,
and she didn't
she
want
had her
any.
own portion, but you gonna take from my? You gonna have your own portion? Then take from my portion?
No, she doesn't have
You
her own. 'cause
portion
she
it.
ain't-
You taking a
said
portion
she
of my
said
portion?
She wasn't hungry.
She said
Nah.
she wasn't hungry.
But the point is that like when you make that decision to say, hey, I ain't hungry, I don't want nothing, you automatically, in my mind, set up another pathway for you to get your fulfillment. So your fulfillment should never come into my portion.
You should not be affected by it.
Yeah, I shouldn't be affected.
Okay, by her decision.
Yeah, what's that? Taxation without representation.
There you go.
I want them wings in my belly.
Listen to this though, I ain't mad at you. I remember when I was, I didn't like people to touch my food, and if somebody wanted some and I had to share, and live studio audience know this, I ain't want none of it. Remember that? If I had to share it, it was like, this is mine, and yeah, you can have yours, but if I had to share, I don't want none. And then I realized that I was punishing myself because I really wanted something, and they just got
But
it
you
all.
know what? But
share
standards,
with you,
but
but
standards is something that you can never renege on, and I applaud you because that's how I am in restaurants. You only got one time to mess up with my stuff.
Yeah, I want to go sit it back.
Here you go.
No, I'm cool.
Here you go. I was at a steakhouse for my anniversary, and that steak was like $51. And like they brought it out. First of all, ordered a porterhouse. You bring me a T-bone, and then you overcook it. And you said, "Well, did you try the other side?"
What you mean? Did I try the other side?
I ordered all
We
of
ain't
this.
cooking this
I ordered all of this media. What is you talking about? All of it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you can. I was like, guess what? You can take this back, and you ain't got to give me nothing.
Did you try
are
the
you
other
sure
side?
you want anything else? No, I don't want nothing from y'all.
First of all, if you ordered, they gave you a T-bone?
I ordered
A porterhouse.
and they gave me a T-bone.
And then they said you
and
ordered.
then they overcooked it.
And then they said, did you try the other side? So if one side was right, then they were right. I can't. We got to do better.
$51.
Y'all
Keep
sent stuff back.
No. Yeah, you said
sent
give me
it
my
back
money
never
back.
to get anything else. They're like,
Right.
is it? Are you sure? I don't want nothing from
I
y'all.
think maybe I'm just not as passionate, but I don't. I just deal with it because I didn't get my order messed up a couple times.
No,
and I just be like, it's not worth it.
It must be a millennial
It's not worth
cookie.
the effort.
This is what I say. If I'm buying a fast food burger or something like that, then I ain't gonna go through the trouble like, oh, I gotta, unless it's like something I'm definitely allergic to, which I'm not. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna go through that level of stuff.
Okay.
But if I'm paying you $51 for a steak, that ain't even the size. That's just the steak. Yeah, you gotta come correct. You gave me the wrong cut and you overcooked it.
But they gave you arguably a better cut.
They didn't give me what I asked for.
But
That's
arguably,
They
you
didn't
got a
give me
better
what I
cut.
asked for.
And then they said, wait though, but how you gonna
arguably-
say, well, did you try the other side?
I tried the other
I
side.
think
Now,
that's
see,
what did it.
That part I can't defend. But arguably, it's like if you went to a hotel and they was like, hey, we know you got this single, but we gonna put you in the suite. You gonna turn down the room?
That's different. That's an upgrade.
Arguably,
This
They
thing.
didn't upgrade me though. I don't look at that as an upgrade because first of all, you overcooked it, and you gave me the wrong
how
thing.
overcooked was it?
It was overcooked enough for me to say, "Hey, not only did you give me the wrong steak, but you overcooked it."
Yeah, but was the overcooked amplified by, the wrong cut of steak?
Could I have ate it and been okay? Yeah. Was I going to do that? Absolutely not.
See, I don't like causing scenes.
It ain't a scene. The scene is like this. They caused a
He
scene.
ain't gonna give up. That's it. We already
They
know.
caused a scene because they brought some bull out.
Like, I'm one of those people,
and not the bull I asked for.
For me to say
Bring me the
something,
cow I want.
it gotta be extremely wrong. Like, to the point, if I'm saying something, you probably should just shut down.
Oh, look, what you say? Because you don't want any issues.
Yeah, well, he seen me in action, so.
That's probably why he like, no, I don't want that. Well, listen to this. In St. Louis, they have a shortage on bus drivers.
All right.
So they have come up with the decision
School bus drivers
to have the teachers drive the buses. What's your thoughts on that?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't. Are they making these teachers get licensed? And if so, are they paying for their licensing?
After class each day, yes. After class each day. In St. Louis, we are all looking for drivers for the same reason and the same time with a limited market available, says John Brine.
I don't think you do. I don't think you make teachers do it unless they want to do it. But I don't see how. To me, like, okay, when's your teacher's time to prep for class? When is it time to grade papers? So if you're driving buses, and let's take Youngstown System for example. Sometimes you got to be at that bus garage probably like 5 o'clock in the morning. Well, then you got to go through a whole day of teaching. Then in some cases,
I gotta pick y'all. That's almost like football coaching. I gotta pick your child up, coach your child, and then drop your child off. No, I ain't doing that. But let me say this: the administration agreed to invite teachers to get licensed and trained to help with routes. The district serves close to 9,000 students and employs about 100 bus drivers. At this point, there are about a dozen drivers short, and the school year starts next month.
So they're not forcing them to do it.
They're not forcing them. They're asking.
If you want to help out.
If you want to help out after you finish teaching this child,
yeah, but you got to
can
drop
take
them off
home?
though. And like, think about it like this. Sometimes if they're but there's after school programs, and there's like sporting events, and there's all those things. Like now, how am I supposed to prepare for the job that I'm actually hired to do?
I'm not doing it.
It seems like a lot.
I feel like it depends on what type of teacher you are. I feel like a PE teacher, they could probably do it.
I think what you do in a perfect world is that you contact parents who you say, hey, if you
we
have
don't have
good
busing
driver's-
available. The end.
Well, no, if you get a good driver's record, let us help you make that into a career.
But they're a teacher and they chose that.
Parents. I said.
Oh, parents.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Like you can easily find somebody to do it, especially if you're going to do the training. You get a lot of you got unemployed parents everywhere
Jordan's
in every
mom
school district.
drives buses.
Yeah.
Okay. See.
I would not have thought that.
Yep.
I can see her working in the cafeteria before I see her driving the bus.
Well, she drive buses.
Yeah. And not that she seemed like a cat. She just seemed like the
how
type.
to respond.
Right. We're like,
I mean, her personality. Her personality seemed like, oh, you look a little extra hungry today. Let me give you 5 more green beans.
Oh, one of those.
You know
Oh,
what I
yeah,
mean?
you are, sweetheart.
She drives the special ed buses.
Oh.
Oh, so
Yeah, I didn't know that.
so bus driving, you got to be what, hardcore?
It's a tough job.
It's a tough job.
It's a tough job.
A lot of people don't realize that. You got to deal with.
Yeah, it's a tough, and then you gotta. Yeah, it's a tough job. To me, that might be for the length of time that you have the encounter with students. It might be tougher than actually teaching.
Okay.
I would, because there's no like a lot of stuff. Not like it's just a lot of bad behavior happens on buses, and it may not be intentional bad. I mean, it's like kids hanging loose. You know what I mean? But you're trying to get kids to a place safely.
Okay.
So if you have a fight break out or if you had this nonsense happening,
what do you do?
Yeah.
But that's why you need bus aids.
Yeah.
Roogle, what's happening in the movie world?
Man, The Lion King is out in theaters, and it is estimated to make almost $200 million on its opening weekend based off of pre-sales and all that such. However, it still has a Rotten Tomatoes rating of 55%. So the money's going to make, the movie's going to make all the money because Disney prints money. That's what they do. My thoughts are going back to like, is it necessary to have this movie? Well, at first I was like, I don't think it's necessary. But now, after last week's talk about it, I see why it's important that they have it because they truly have African American or black representation in this movie versus what they did in the past and try to pass it on as that. So it does make up for the lack of inclusion that it should have had originally. But at the same time, is this something that I want to see? No, I don't.
You still feel the same. What about you? Something you interested in?
I'll probably go check it out. Yeah, you know, it's one of those things. Like, do I need to? No. Will I? Yeah.
Okay.
I'll watch it, but I'm not paying additional dollars to watch it. When it's on when I see it on something, I'll check it out. But
you're not going. You're not getting in the car.
No, am I going to the movie theater to watch it? No.
I go to the theater to see it.
Now, what sparked your interest? What would spark your interest?
Well, Childish Gambino's in it. I can't think of his actual name right now. Donald Glover. You know, love all of the work he did, honestly.
As a singer?
Well, as a singer, actor, because, you know, he was in Community for a while.
Okay.
He was
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Atlanta is real good. Yeah.
So you'll go because of who's acting in it.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem that they're retelling this story. Because actually, I was just talking to someone the other day. It was this, like, freshman inclusion program that I was a part of. So it was incoming college freshmen. And I was talking to these kids, and I mentioned, like, The Lion King, and I was, like, talking about it, and they looked me dead in my soul and said, don't ruin it for me.
Oh, so they're going.
Well, yeah, but they said don't ruin it for me. Like, they haven't seen The Lion King before. So I just realized there's a generation out there that might not have seen The Lion King.
So this will be their first encounter.
This will be their Lion King.
Okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
Okay, Nick said that it was good. She went to see it. Did any of you guys? I needed my people to see Black and Privilege on Netflix. Did you ever watch it?
I didn't watch it, but it's on my.
It's on your to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so we won't talk about it until.
Kind of whack, though.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about it next week. We'll talk about it next week. We'll give people the opportunity to watch.
It's a movie, not a season.
It's a movie.
Okay. Yeah.
Black and Privileged. If you can get past the bad acting. Okay. So you saw
because when I seen the preview, I was like, "Oh, this is horrible."
Right.
Just off the little, I was like, "I."
The concept is good though.
Yeah.
The purpose for the movie is good. I think so. I just need you guys. It's called Black and Privileged. Just take a look at it, and then we'll shop talk about it next week because we're supposed to shop talk about it this week. But since you lovely people haven't seen it, we'll talk about it because it's a whole topic of itself. What else you got?
Today is Michael. Not Michael. Yeah, Mike Epps' birthday. No, Omar Epps' birthday.
Okay,
Happy
Omar.
birthday.
Happy birthday, Omar Epps. Nick said she watched it, but I'm gonna let her. We're gonna talk about it next week.
And Paige Heard.
Who is that?
Paige Hurd was the love interest on Everyone Hates Chris. You had to see her picture to recognize
to know who
her.
she is, because I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even.
I don't know if you ever watched Everyone Hates Chris. Yeah.
I don't even know her. Look, I'm like, I don't even know her at all. Sorry. Look, I'm like, sorry. Don't know her. But I did want to tell you guys that there was a woman, a lady, a mom. She is actually being charged with the felony because these whole challenges, I almost forgot, don't want to leave that out. She took her child to the doctor and let her child lick the tongue depressors and put it back.
Wow.
So they're charging the mom.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you that you're going to sit there? So now you know what's going to happen. They have the tongue depressors that are sealed already because that's the kind that we have. But remember they used to sit in there, they'd be like, say, they put it on their tongue.
Yeah.
People probably was licking it like forever, but now we know.
Nah.
It's not even flavor, so what's your purpose of putting a piece of wood in your mouth?
How old was the child?
A minor. I didn't really go into detail and see exactly, how old the child was, but they're charging the mom with the felony.
It's also Ray Allen's birthday.
Who is Ray Allen?
Ray Allen, he's a former basketball player that was...
Ray Allen, Ray Allen, okay. Yeah. I'm stuck on the movies.
Carlos Santana.
What other movie? What should we be watching?
Coming up my pick for this coming into theaters pretty soon is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's Quentin Tarantino, his 9th film that he's making. I think he's counting this as number 9. And that is what I am looking forward to going to see.
Okay.
Right? I don't know. Like right now, it's like your time to catch up on anything you haven't seen. For example, I watched Stranger Things, the 3rd season.
Okay.
And the thing I really like about Stranger Things was that the nostalgia of the 80s that we no longer have.
Why is that?
Because it was like, me and my wife was watching, I was like, this was America before cell phones.
Listen, and turn the cell phone off.
I mean? This was it before, like, you had like technology. Like, it was like people actually interacting. Like there was no, like, if you wanted something, you went to the mall. If you just wanted to hang out, you went to the mall. I know that sound.
What's that sound?
That sound is
Mel's Medical Moments. Real quick, peace of mind. Having a peace of mind definitely will have you healthy. So I'm going to give you some Q-tips, quick tips on how you can have a peace of mind. Spend time with the right people. Remove yourself from negative people. Remember, happiness should always be a priority. Ease your expectations. If it's something that you want to achieve, if it seems like it's too high at that time, bring it on back. Start small, okay? Let's see here. Don't give up. Don't give up on what you want. Don't give up on hope. And again, don't allow other people to utilize your time. If you feel as though that you are being bombarded and it's like, oh my gosh, I just need some me time, because I'm always telling you, have some me time. Surround yourself with positive people. Positive people will give you a peace of mind. Sometimes choose your battles. Remember we talked about you earlier. Mm-hmm. He ain't giving up. Wouldn't you? Little Ron will rather have a peace of mind than to argue and send it back and forth, right? Does that give you a peace of mind? To just say, whatever. Let it go. Look for a new beginning. All right? You know what I'm saying? If it's there and you don't see it's going your way, just ball it up and start all over. Erase the chalkboard. Remember, it is your stage starring you. If it don't fit, don't force it. If it is not working in your favor, let it go. If it don't fit, don't force it. Just relax and let it go. You remember that? Who sings that? I don't remember. I've got to find that song. I got to find it. So again, people, remember, you are the headliner, and in order to have a peace of mind, make sure you don't allow other people to control your mind. There you have it. Mel's Medical Moments. Any last words? Decisions.
Man.
So wrap it up, baby.
Stand by your decision, and then sometimes standing by that decision is also recognizing that you may have been wrong.
Okay. Go ahead, Millennial. You gotta tell me something.
I don't know if I have any words of wisdom. I'm still learning myself,
Now, I like it. That's a decision he made. He's learning. We talked about that earlier. Listen and learn. Go ahead, Live Studio audience. I know you got it.
I think her name is Kelly Patterson. And I agree with her. If it don't fit, don't force it. Just relax and let it go. Just because that's how you want it doesn't mean that it should be so.
Okay. Anybody else? Come on, Millennial. I'm trying to give you some time.
I don't know. I didn't get the script or anything from this.
No, we don't have no script. This is straight up shop talk. It's all live.
I didn't prepare any knowledge.
You didn't. Go ahead. Go. Oh, you play? Okay, hold on. We're going to end it with that, okay? Hey, what's that? Is that the jazz version? All right, today's footnote. Don't base your decisions on the advice of those who don't have to deal with the results. All right? And just like the live studio audience said, that the millennial said she don't want to be a role model. She wants to be an example. Yes. So here's the thing. I would rather be an example than a sample.
Example than a sample.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Sample
Okay.
test.
All right. That is my time. Lovely people. I thoroughly enjoyed you as I do each and every single Saturday. Thanks to Ron for coming into the studio and kicking it with us. We love live studio audience. Let's give him a cheer. Welcome. You guys sit there and do it. Y'all already know what it is. Find you, embrace you. Most importantly, always love you. Until next week, people. You know what it is. Shop Talk. Right here on Spreaker.com. It seems like it's really, really slow on this Kelly Patterson.
Is this Turtle Lights?
There you go.
But tell me what's the use? You're trying hard to shame me because you want to make me stay. But all it does bring to mind what Mama used to say. If it don't fit, don't force it. Just relax and let it go.
Hey, how you doing? That's my time. That's Kelly Patterson. Wonder where she at.
I don't know, but she's a cutie in her day.
Hey.
I see a picture of her.
Okay, then, y'all. Hey, listen, tune in next week. Every Saturday, 10 a.m. from 12 noon. I know I finished it, and we usually end, but we had to go ahead and play that lovely Kelly Patterson real quick since it was appropriate. All right, again, find you, embrace you, most importantly, always love you. Follow me on all socials at Shop Talk with Mel. It's your girl. Peace.